MySQL doesn't have a Boolean type per se. It does have a Boolean keyword which maps to a tiny int, which is then used as a Boolean type. So let's see how this works. We'll use the Scratch database here, and we're going to go ahead and create a little table here. We'll start with a drop table if exists, and create table, test. And it's just going to have two columns, A and B, and they're both Boolean. Actually, just bool by itself is an alias for Boolean. Either one works. I like to spell things out. And we're going to insert one row and just put in true and false. True and false, they're just aliases for 1 and 0. And so true is 1 and false is 0. And we'll select from test. We'll describe it. And we'll show create table. Go ahead and go. So here we have our select here, which shows 1 and 0. And our describe actually shows tinyInt for both of the values. And you notice it says tinyInt1, which means that only one digit is going to be used there. And our create table shows that it's created with tinyInt default null. And so if we come in here and we don't need the describe or the show any longer, and we say select A and B, and select A or B, you notice that these can be used. We need from test. I do make typos sometimes, and that's fine. And so we see A and B is not true, so it's a 0 because true and false is false. True or false, however, is true, and so that returns a 1. So MySQL simply maps its Boolean type to a tiny int, which is then used as a Boolean value. So we can go ahead and drop our table to put the database back into its original state and to be ready for the rest of our lessons.